Hi everyone, welcome back to Job 1 for All. In this video we are going to talk a little bit about StringBuilder and, well, technically if we talk about StringBuilder we are talking about StringBuffer as well. So let's create a new class, StringBuilder test 01, ESVM, and as a quick recap, the strings as we saw, they are mutable. So this means if you ask name.concat, you are going to create another string with DevDojo and one extra string, that's William Swanee, DevDojo. If you print this, you will notice that we have still William Swanee because there is the immutability playing here. Unless we assign this to the reference variable, we are not going to get the new value. Now, when we talk about StringBuilder, the first thing that you should notice and you have to remember is that StringBuilder is not string. So when we have StringBuilder, we cannot assign a string to the StringBuilder. So I cannot get this name and just say, okay, this StringBuilder will be now the name. String and StringBuilder, they are both classes, and one is a string, another one is StringBuilder, and they are not in the same inheritance tree. So that's basically why we cannot say that StringBuilder is a string, technically speaking. And to create a new object, basically the same way we have been doing with all other objects, just through the new keyword. Now the constructor, you will notice that is overloaded. We have the capacity, that's an integer, and then we have the string that we can send and a character sequence as well. So basically, both of these is just straightforward. If you send a name here, it will just create. But the most important one to understand is the capacity. If you do not send the capacity, it will be by default 16. So it will create a StringBuilder with space in memory for 16 characters. And if these characters are not enough, the StringBuilder will just double the amount. So the next time it will be 32 and then 64, 128, 156, and so on. So basically, in the previous video, if you noticed, I sent the size to the string buffer. So it's not going to affect that much, but you are avoiding a little bit of extra performance to create another more space in memory. So if you give the size that you are going to use, you are pre-allocating the space before you actually use it. So if you do not send, it will be 16. If you give any value, and even though it's not enough, it will just duplicate. So coming back, you can also send a string or a character sequence, and if you call this guy inside a system out println, you will get the string back. But wait a minute, StringBuilder is not a string, but it also has toString. So basically, when you call StringBuilder inside a println, it's going to call the toString by default, and then you will get the string back. Now, you saw that if we add something through concatenation in the string, unless we assign the new value to a reference variable, we are not going to get that value back. But this is different with StringBuilder. So basically, most of the StringBuilder methods, they will be working inside the StringBuilder object. So for example, we do not have a concat, but we do have a method called Append. And basically, this Append will add to whatever you have inside your StringBuilder, for example, without creating a new string in memory in the pool of strings. So if you execute this, you will notice that we have the new value without having to reassign the reference. So basically, we are doing manipulation inside the StringBuilder object. If you press Ctrl Q or F1 for Mac, you will see that the return of the append is StringBuilder. So you have to be careful and take a look at the return method. So if it is returning StringBuilder, basically there is a high chance that the method is returning the reference for the StringBuilder object itself. So if you come here, you see that it's returning the object that you created. In this case, it's going to append the string and then return this. This is the object that we created here. But you have to be careful because not all methods they are going to do that. Remember that we have a method called substring. And if I pass here 0 and 3, it's going to return. If I give another association, for example, name, is going to return will 0, 1, 2. Now, if I do the same, and this may be a tricky question for interviews or exams, they may ask you, okay, so if you append, you are going to change the object that you have, and we are going to give the new value. What about you do the substring? And the same thing, you may think that you are going to return will as well, but in the end, you are going to return Williams 1 in DevDojo. And why is that? Because if you look at the return, is a string, and strings are immutable. So you have to be careful. Not all methods, they are going to return the object reference that you have created on line 9. Another thing is, there are several methods that are useful. So for example, you have the reverse, that's going to reverse the entire string. Of course, if you reverse twice, it's basically coming to the same place. And another one, if you notice this one, it returns the StringBuilder. And another useful one would be the delete. So if I delete 0 and 3, I'm going to, it's not the same as the substring. The substring will return the first 3 characters, but this one is going to delete the first 3 characters. So you will notice that we will lose will and we'll only have Leon Swan in DevDojo. And of course, since we have the entire name here, it means that it's returning StringBuilder. So basically, the StringBuilder and StringBuffer are the same thing. So if I change this entire object to StringBuffer and I execute, I have the same result. Now it's up to what kind of system you are building to use StringBuffer or StringBuilder. If you don't have multi-threads, just go with StringBuilder. It's faster and you won't lose anything. Let's return it to StringBuilder. So basically that's it. I think one extra thing, if you want to kind of delete everything, because remember you are working with the same object, and if you want to clean up, you have a couple options. You can set the delete from 0 to sb.length, Ctrl+Shift+F10, or I think there is another option. You have a set length and you can set it to 0. So basically you are wiping everything that you have inside that object. So I think that's it. Everything that I wanted to tell you about StringBuilder. Most of the things that you are going to use later are basically extra from what we have here. Just one extra thing, the StringBuilder, since it cannot use the plus sign to add more strings to it, I just want you to be careful because you have to use append. So for example, if I want to add extra information, I would need to append this one. And if I want more information, I would have to add extra append. So in the end, depending on what you are doing, IntelliJ will tell you, hey, maybe the append here, it's just hurting the readability, and it's better for you to use the plus sign and change everything that you have here to a string. So with this, I finished. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Bye.